back on the Mana Symbol channel. We got a new wonderful deck dump on March 9th, 2021, including both Classic Jund, as I will refer to it, and Lurrus Jund. So first up, I'm going to play a little bit of Lurrus Jund. So Lurrus of the Dream Den is a 3-mana companion for 1 white or black, white or black. In this case, we're playing it for the black half. The companion condition requires that we have only permanent cards in our deck that are 2 CMC or less, which we have respected. And the payoff we get is a 3-mana 3/2 lifelink, and during each of our turns we can cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from our graveyard. So Mishra's Bauble is the obvious easy card to use here. We get to draw an extra card per turn with our Lurrus in play. But beyond that, we get to play a bunch of threats. So we've got Tarmogoyf as the big dumb beater, the biggest and dumbest and beateriest of dumb beaters. I love some Tarmogoyf. We have newcomer to modern, the Tarmogoyf Light Grim Flayer. Love me some Grim Flayer. This is the Delirium ability, which means if we have 4 or more card types in our graveyard, we get a benefit, and that benefit in this case is +2/+2 for our Grim Flayer, making it a 2-mana 4/4. Additionally, it has Trample, and it has a lovely trigger that allows us to put some of the top cards of our library into our graveyard and control our next draw a little bit. We've got Dark Confidant in here, good old Bob Marr Jr. hanging out. So this is going to help us draw extra cards per turn. The average CMC of our deck looks pretty low. I would hazard a guess that it's 1 point something, high 1 point somethings, but still reasonable. Obviously something that's a bit of a hurdle when we're playing against Burn, but I'm sure we'll be able to play through that. We get to play 4 whole copies of Kolaghan's Command. I'm very excited about. We're very light on the lightning bolts, but I think the plan with this deck is to be a lot more grindy, as we are playing 4 Inquisition, 2 Thoughtseize, and a Raven's Crime. Raven's Crime obviously pairs up nicely with our 2 copies of Wrenn and Six. 74/60. Are you telling me that's the math? Okay. Which is equal to, hey, you used to, hey. Oh, come on. Windows used to be cool about this. Apparently it's not being cool right now. Anyway, so we'll do that calculation as we go along. We got Assassin's Trophy in the main deck, no copies of Abrupt Decay. Not entirely sure what the Brewer's logic was on that one. Our sideboard is nice and clean. We got 4 Brutalities for burn and aggressive matchups. We've got 4 Cleansing Wildfire for big mana. We got 4 Nile Spellbombs for all sorts of graveyard decks, and some Engineered Explosives. So I'm really excited to run into some of the matchups.
Meanwhile,
recently, things like Oops All Spells, things like, I don't know. Most things shouldn't be a problem for our deck. We're playing the classic, 51-49 or 49-51 deck here in playing a Jund deck. Is this a command? Nope. What about math? No, I understand how to do the math, Roy. I'm just surprised you just didn't spit out a number for me, because now I had to process what you were giving me and then try to find a way to do it while I was doing my deck talk. There we go. So it's 1.23. If the number was 74/60, then it's 1.23. Right? I mean, assuming that you were giving me the correct numbers. So let's talk about how I would do this math. I would just look at the deck and say, what's the total mana cost? So we have 1/14, 2/16, 4/3. So this is 12. This is 32. 12 and 32, 48. And then this is 14. 48 and 14 is 72. Twelve and 32 is 44. Thank you. Thank you. 44 plus 14, 68. There we go. So 68/60. And I was right. I don't have to click anything for Windows to do it for me. So it's 1.13, 1.13. Do you think there's a version of Jund that exists as Sultai, adding things like Coddle, Snap, and Drown? Last God, I would say that was possible with Uro. In fact, that was a thing in numerous forms, but now without Uro, I really doubt it. It's possible it's like blue-black, add green, but I don't think it would be playing things like Tarmogoyf. I don't think it would be playing things like, I don't know. And the one of the tricky things about that deck would be that you lose Wrenn and Six, which is kind of by far one of the best cards you can be playing. Yeah, that was true, Larynx Punchworthy. Sultai was definitely a color combination people were excited about when Jace the Mind Sculptor was unbanned. I remember when there was a bunch of people playing Teamer decks with Jace and Bloodbraid Elf. Those were the days. Those were the days. Wow, this could go really well for us. So they've got turn 1 Heritage Druid into turn 2 Elvish Warmaster. So if I assume they're going to curve out like that, we take the Llanowar Elves here. Next turn we play our Bob. They're going to have Heritage Druid this turn, and they're going to play the Warmaster next turn. The Warmaster won't trigger off of itself, so we should have enough time to deploy this Bob, and then after that point, we should be able to row up. I'm going to grab a basic here because I'm just not incentivized to shock. If I do pick up a Liliana, I can always put in a Blood Crypt. Something you've been messing with because my Sultai deck is always more controlling and I love Jund. I got you. Did they not have a second land? Holy crap, I just totally missed that they didn't have a second land. Well, that's just fantastic for us. All right, pile of removal deck. Do your trick. Oh, yes. 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 Pushes for days. I got pushes for days. I got pushes for days. Say, son, what do you want for dinner? Chicken for days! What? Anyway, how you doing, Blitz? I would be interested to take a look at, like, some kind of Sultai deck. You could be a Lurrus deck that plays Bob, because you could play Tarmogoyf, you could play Snapcaster Mage, you could play most of the good things, right? What's on top? Blooming Marsh on top. Okay, so they're going to have their second mana next turn. So probably this is a Thoughtseize plus grab Lurrus kind of turn. I don't really think they can get themselves running particularly well with just 2 mana. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. As a matter of fact, all their 2-drops kind of suck at the moment. Since all their 2-drops are generally interchangeable, I think I'm going to pick off one of the 3-drops, and I'm worried about Shaman giving me the business. Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling, Blitz. I don't have a second swamp. Right. Because we're not playing Liliana. So I have to shock for this. I don't love that. But I'll do it. If I have to, I guess. Okay. Life Linker. He's the cat that likes to link. Mr. Maple Syrup coming in hot with the pun game. Hope you're doing well, friend. Yeah, no, post away, Last God. Deck list links are always welcome. Wheel. Cavern on top. Okay, so they're gonna get to cast Archdruid this turn if they want to. Archdruid. And they have Elite. They've played one War Master. Sue. Go attack first. Deploy the Implacable Death Cat. What am I drawing? Nurturing Peatland, alright. So we should be able to wipe out their hand pretty quickly. I just need to deal with... They're going to have 3 creatures now. The Archdruid. You think Grim Flayer with Unearth is underexplored? I think Grim Flayer plus Unearth sounds underpowered. Not saying, just saying. Like, out of all the things you could be doing in Modern with Unearth, I think playing a Grim Flayer is probably pretty low on that list. No, I know. I'm saying Unearth is the good card in that combo. You could be unearthing Skelementals or Seasoned Pyromancers or Lurruses, and you're choosing to get a Grim Flayer? I'm not saying it couldn't go in a similar deck or a same deck. I'm just saying I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Oh no? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How much did I take? 1. Okay. I drew the Inquisition in my draw step. Good. Good. Alright, so they're on 2 cards in hand, so let's go bonk. Bonk. Take away their last card too. So they're going to be living off the top of their library. Right. I mean, I don't disagree with you, Last God, but I do think that the deck we're playing right here is an example of the kind of deck that would want to... I should have played the Inquisition first. Hopefully we don't get punished. Good, we didn't. I think the deck I'm playing right now is a good example of a deck where you would find it acceptable to play Grim Flayer over Scourge of the Skyclaves. I'm not saying it's necessarily better across the board, but probably, most likely. Also, how many baubles have we drawn here? Good lord. Oh, yeah, well, there's the 4th one. Well, alrighty then. Alrighty then. Nice elf deck. Nice elf deck. I enjoy my opponent continuing to not trade for my Bob. Although, ouch. Although it's really not a problem. What's on top? Do I want to draw step kill that? Yes, yes I do. Shaman of the Pack is very dangerous. Okay, so I can't die from Bob, so we can go attack like this. And at least Lurrus have safe swongs now. It will next turn, which is fine. Also, I get to set up what I'm going to draw. So let's go Stomping Grounds in the graveyard. Wait, am I not allowed to reorder these cards? What does this say? I have to be able to put any of them on the top of and the rest back in any order. Okay, so yeah, okay, good. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. I was like, there's no way that card is written that way. It's just never... There's no freaking way they would ever write a card that badly. It's not worth K-commanding or trophying to get that life. Well, so... I don't think it's... So trophy would shuffle their library, and the K-command lets me do this, where I time walk them and kill the War Master. So, yes, Last God. If I could get a better play by not doing that, then I would and did. Because I used Bauble and I knew the top card of their library was Shaman of the Pack, which they can't cast at instant speed, so I can use K-command to do a draw step discard while killing the War Master. So, and I wasn't going to take any damage from my Dark Confidant that turn, so it's like, it's win, 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 win. Did I say win? Did I just freaking say win? Okay, so I think cutting Bloodchief's Thirst for Collective Brutality is probably fine. Although Trophy doesn't seem particularly necessary here, so maybe I can keep the Thirst because they're removal on 1. I could imagine wanting more Collective Brutalities, but I feel like this is just generally a really good matchup for us, right? Jund eats combo. Well, okay, but this isn't really combo. This is even worse for the other player, right? Because not only are they like a combo deck, but they're a combo deck with like a dinky mid-range backup plan. This hand is not great, but I mean, it has a curve. Yeah. It's like combo aggro, yeah. Yeah, I would say in Modern it's more of an aggro deck. In Legacy it's more of a mid-range deck because they can grind a lot better in Legacy, generally speaking, although not necessarily. Nettle Sentinel. Yeah, right. Second K-Com. Okay, that could be really good. We'll see. Yeah, Allosaur Shepherd, but it's more the card draw engine with the what's it called? Yes, please. The Bug, Wirewood Symbiote, and Elvish Visionary. Those two cards together help create a kind of ridiculous mid-range plan where you just like grind. Yeah, Wirewood Symbiote. No, Visionary. Elvish Visionary is the 2-mana 1/1 that draws a card. Yeah, you got it. They draw a 2-drop? No. Yay! Thoughtseize Bug. Well, suddenly in big trouble. Because they're going to have a Lord next turn, so I'm going to take 8? Jesus fucking Christ. Brutal. Do they have a second one? Oh, I'm just dead. Yeah. I guess I can trade my Bob for their Elf Warrior. And then take 6. And then take 6 the next turn. No, but because of the Shockland, I'm just toast. I'm going to go to 1. I guess if I drew Collective Brutality, I'd be okay. No, that's not what I want. Hey! Shauna Geek Media with the follow or with the sub. Thank you so much, friend. So our the stream's been popping off lately, and I'm glad to have you join us. Listen, I'm not normally someone who asks for follows, but I might start doing that soon enough because I've been at this for a while, and we might put the follow counter on screen because if I can get up to 1,000, then I can apply for a Mana Traders sponsorship doodle. Basically, I'll start getting my Mana Traders for free every month, which is a good deal. And then I love those guys anyway. They do amazing work. They're the whole reason that this stream has been able to exist the way it is. So, and I think, you know, I'm sort of an overall content producer. I've got my thumb in a lot of pies, or however the hell you say that. So I was looking at what they have as a list of stuff because I asked some flunky from there at some point recently about it, or not recently, before recently. All right, let's get these extra bobs out of here. Actually, I'm on the play now. Probably should have done that on the draw, but on the play, this would probably be okay. My thumb is in a lot of eyes. Boy, that's terrifying. I mean, we did just have, like, just generally bad luck that game, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, but Bob is in general pretty okay. Yeah, Last God, the Golgari command looks little suspect. I did see some people saying it's going to be really good in Legacy against Death and Taxes, which I don't, because you can kill a Thalia and a Aether Vial, or a lot of creatures. Well, Shauna, I like fair decks, and Jund is the fair deck that I always reject because it's a little bit too, I don't know, mainstream, as much as that shouldn't matter. So no turn 1 removal, but turn 3 KCOM to turn 4 KCOM. Yeah, that's the problem in Modern, right? Is that one toughness is not a problem for most of the scary aggressive decks because they already have everything with 2 toughness anyway. I love Wrenn and Six so much, and it is good for Modern that most of those super aggressive red creatures do have 2 toughness, but it is really frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. All right, so these can get untapped lands each, so let's just play the Blood Crypt. My opponent took a mull to 6, and then they tanked a little bit on their 6, so we'll see if this is a particularly good hand or not. Mystic to lead is pretty good for them, like just any 1 mana. Okay, well now I can't do that thing anymore, but this should work out just fine. We'll see. It is nice that I don't have to pay any life at all for that card. So, and worst case scenario here is that they have like a Dwinnen's Elite plus a 1-drop. Best case scenario, they just have like a Lord that they have to tap out for, and then I just KCOM them. And then the next turn I just KCOM them again. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Oh, they kept a 1-lander? Is that what I'm seeing? Or are they roying me for no good reason? Okay. Oh, second Mystic. Okay. I see. You only roy for good reason? Yeah, fair enough. Well, no, the point was, like, I was tapped out, Roy. There was no way I was going to interact with what they were doing. So, like, was there a good reason for them to do it there? I don't think so. I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally agree that roying to me does imply that it is a technically superior play. It's always worth thinking about where you should sequence your land drop, but one of the things that frustrates me about the roying is when it's like irrelevant. Like, yeah, I got you. It just feels like getting slow rolled, I guess is what I'm saying. I think that's the upshot, is that I just feel like I'm getting slow rolled when someone does it that way. I think I'm going to save my Fatal Push in case they draw a more relevant 2-drop here. Discards Realmwalker. Okay, fair enough. Take all the resources. That's the plan. Realmwalker is the modern legal, what do you call it? Glimpse of Nature? Glimpse of Nature. Well, yes, but that card isn't good enough. That would be good, but it's not. Right. That's what you would have thought, but you'd be wrong. They have to be playing Veil of Summer, right? But they can't cast it now, so it doesn't matter. Thanks, Hunter of House Daddy. Thanks, Danny. I love the way you talk about my list, Daddy. Think they have a Coco? Yeah, most likely. But they can't cast it next turn anyway, so I feel like the best thing for me to do is this. Thanks for the follow, the Black Demonic Fox. No, the Black Demon Fox. I don't know why I added extra syllables. Probably because I'm a nerd. Alright, what do you got? You got a Lord? I got a Lord. Yeah, cool. I guess I'll take 5. And then possibly go for triple escalate this turn. We'll see. I can block and trade because I have the Lurrus now. And thanks to the follow, Lucanas 81. Luconas 81. Luconas.
For whoever brings me the head of Colonel Montoya.
Oracle of Moldiah for tribal. I think calling it a glimpse for modern is more extreme, and therefore will get me more viewers and attention from the world at large. Good or bad, apparently I don't care. Like other good content creators. You like calling it a problem for us. It's fair. Alright. So the only real question for this turn is, am I scaling up my Collective Brutality to take a look at their hand and try to snipe a Collected Company? Obviously, if they top deck a land, it becomes problematic. I think I should do it anyway. This is also going to push me up. No, I couldn't have. Okay. I was going to say that this is going to get me up to enough card types for the Grim Flayer, but we're short creature. And the only way... Yeah, this is a skews. Alright. Well, Scoos isn't scary right now. Maybe Grim Flayer will just go ahead and enable itself. This could also hit a Bauble here, which would be really nice. Obviously, they have the Scoos to eat my Bauble. All right. So creature is the last type, so this is actually going to enable my Flayer right now. And then out of these cards, what do I want to draw next turn? Dark Confidant? I think Dark Confidant is probably the best thing. Also, I could play the Tarmogoyf out of my graveyard next turn, assuming the Scoos doesn't eat it proactively, which it can't because they have to play it off their forest, right? This is also on Elf? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we'll go graveyard, graveyard. Or do I want to know that I have a land on top when I play the Confidant? I think knowing I have a land on top, just in case my Grim Flayer doesn't connect next turn, is probably good. Okay, so Flayer Boy is big. Go top, top. Don't have to worry about the top of my library next turn. The Ooze is annoying. They're going to take too much away at our yard. Well, no, they're not, because I'm going to kill it, and they currently don't have any mana with which to activate it. So I would say it's not even annoying, unless they top deck a forest. Specifically, like a green source that isn't a cavern or other tribal land. Like if they just top decked a Guiltleaf Palace, assuming that they're playing one. No, not I just checked them, right? They're both elf. And I made a point of pointing it out. No, I pointed it out after I made my decision, but that's not the point. That's not the pointing point. Point. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Looks like I'm taking 5. Really? Okay. Conservative. The problem I have is I know I have Bob on top. Got Goyf in my graveyard. I need to enable Revolt to get rid of this Archdruid. Archdruid. I guess I could just swing in with both my creatures here and prompt them to kill my Lurrus to get the Revolt. Because to be perfectly honest, we will eventually draw a K-Com, and it's probably valuable to trade off the Lurrus for the Archdruid if they will let me. I just made my Grim Flayer small. It'll be fine. We hope. This is a really bad attack now, in a lot of ways. We'll see how they block, though. If they just put, like, the Dwinnen's Elite on my Grim Flayer, I guess... No, okay. That's fair. That's a fair deal, opponent. Oh! 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 Ay! Not so clever girl. Not so clever girl. Point. The pointiest point to ever point you in a direction. I love that. That's great. I just enjoy me some Pinky in the brain. And obviously, specifically Pinky. Well, I think so, Brain, but the Rockettes? I mean, we don't have the legs, do we? Okay, so I'm going to play Bob. I don't really want the Inquisition, so I think I just go graveyard, graveyard, and leave that on top for Bob. Go Bob and Brown, and Fatal Push, and then take the wheel, Bob. What we doing tonight, Brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. I know that's a little too what's his name from the Frankenstein movies. Not enough, what is the director's name? Yes, always. Crap, what is his name? Big heavy guy. Oh, they found a Dwinnen's Elite. Interesting. Does anyone know who I'm talking about with the Country Pea commercial? Orson Welles. That's who I'm going. That deserved the Java laugh. I can't actually get into play this turn, but smash. Here comes the Goyf, here comes the Goyf. I like this Grim Flayer Bob combo. It's kind of doing it for me. Holy crap. Sure. I guess I'll keep one of these. Bonk. Bye, Scoos. I've got the Blood Crypt on top, but let's put this Wooded Foothills in play because depending on how much damage they do to me, I might want to fetch and set myself up for next. Oh, I don't even need to set myself up for next turn. There's just basically no reason not to play it. Yay, we did it. All right, I'll be back in a half second. I just shouldn't have had all that beer and coffee and watermelon. Stay tuned, folks. Alrighty then. Yeah, the funny thing about that last god is, you know, if we didn't have a Grim Flayer, that those wouldn't have been lands, right? It was like the classic of like, for sure we would have drawn just fine without the Grim Flayer, but because there was a Grim Flayer, we got to see that it was all lands, we got to dodge it.
That's so ratchet.
I agree, girl. I agree. Here's my kitty. Two cycle lands makes this hand kind of okay for me. I know it's crazy, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it. We have a fetch land plus a Bauble, so we can try to make sure we draw some action for turn 2. What we have here, Bloodchief's Thirst. Okay, perfect. So I can decide if I want to draw that or not, based on my opponent's turn 1 play. It's probably Storm, right? But if it's Prowess, then I really... I think this is fine. Yeah, even if it's Storm, though, I kind of want to have the earlier removal, so this is okay. I'll draw a Thirst. I'm not upset about it. I'm upset about that draw, but not the Thirst. This deck blacks blue white. If it's prowess, what are they doing on turn 1? I've seen prowess decks keep a good 7 that doesn't have a 1-drop. And on the draw too, right? I feel like there's enough situations where that's correct for them. Like if they have Morphos into Stormwing and an Opt and okay, it's Storm. This is definitely Storm. Which is a touch unfortunate they haven't deployed a creature there for me to do anything about. No thanks. Yeah, this is going to be tough with us not having drawn any removal thus far. Sorry, not removal, discard. If I hit Raven's Crime, though, I can hit him for 3 cards out of hand, which would be fun. Doop, doop, doop. All right. Unfortunately, that's as good as my hand gets here. Yeah, I agree, Shauna. Well, now this is just getting unacceptable because they're just going to go Ritual into... They're just going to go Ritual Gifts and then kill me. All right, maybe. All right. No, but actually maybe. Let's see what up. What's up with the what's up? Response, Ritual Gifts ungiven. Uh-huh. Oh, really? Wow. So smart. Oh my god. Can you tell me how you think about Magic? Because that play was just, wow. I just think you're so smart. So they already have the Past in Flames, which I can't take with my Inquisition. Oh, I'm fine, Ward. I'm having a Jim Dandy time. So I'll probably have to Inquisition their Manamorphose. Unless they have a mana creature that they're planning on doing stuff with. Because this, if I put the lands in their graveyard, then they have 5 mana next turn. Alright, I'm going to put those in their graveyard. Let's gamble that they needed that land. Oh, I still get to take a card with the Thoughtseize. Let's see how this goes. There's the Baral. Wow, I look dead. So they have 3, 4, 5 mana next turn? Okay. If I put the Past in Flames in their graveyard. So if they play the Baral, then they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. They can flashback the Past in Flames, but they can't go anywhere with it. Take Baral and Ritual and We Pray. No, I think I want... I want them to cast the Baral, because if they don't draw a land, then I kill it. Take Pith and Baral. I'm taking the Pith and one of the Rituals. Taking the Past in Flames and one of the Rituals. And I'm going to pray that we just get to Bloodchief's Thirst it next turn. If we take the 2 Rituals, can they go off? I mean, sorry. I just wanted to finish what I was doing there. So, if they don't draw a land, they cannot go off. They can play the Baral and hold up the Remand, but there's no way they can protect the Baral with the 1 Remand against Bloodchief's Thirst. So this way I get to kill a Baral that otherwise I would have had to discard, and I basically got them to discard an extra Ritual this way. Yeah, they don't even play anything. That's very smart from them. But doesn't matter when you draw the fire. Hot fire. Uh-huh. No, sick. Awesome. Sweet play. So now I can take another ritual. They drew another remand. Take the ritual. They did draw a land, so they can play Baral. They'll have the ritual, but they can't protect the Baral. Okay, so we take the ritual now. I still want them to play the Baral. Play this now. They will ritual gifts. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. They will ritual gifts. They'll ritual gifts. They can't. They don't have a gift. What are you talking about, Mord? Mord, have you been smoking the dope? You can tell me, son. I won't judge you. I love them constantly not playing. Yeah, exactly. They're just trying to build up mana here. So they've played the pathway. They have 2 unknowns. They had an opt. They still have a remand, so running the Lurrus headlong into the remand sucks, but I think I have to do it. Yeah, I'm aware, Shauna. I'm trying, but unfortunately I haven't drawn a single affordable threat to play, which is really, you know, not where we want to be, but like what I don't. You do work as a head manager at a pretty big grow shop. It's legal in Canada. If it's legal in your country, you can talk about it. I don't have any problem with that. Remands for days. All right. Looking maybe fucked here. They have the remand, but this cuts them off of a mana. I should have left 2 red up. I didn't think about it. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Nice draw. The other 2 cards in their hand were Grape Shot and 1 unknown. God, I hate Storm. Well, the fact that they never, ever played their creature was super tilting. Like, and obviously if there's an experienced Storm player, they saw what I was up to and they adjusted around it. It's just frustrating when my opponent is that good and on their shit. We had a very mediocre draw. What if they pivot into Arya post board? I will die. I will die. I know I could board in Engineered Explosives, but it's terrible against their non-Arya plan, so hopefully we'll just discard it. Not a fan of Damping Spirit. Well, I didn't build this deck, so the person who 5-0'd with this apparently didn't need it. I like how cleanly constructed their sideboard is. It's not perfect, but then again, Modern is a huge format, so we do have Nile Spellbombs. EE on 0 is pretty good for the Empty the Warrens. Yeah, I guess I'm just not planning on them storming off in my face. And if they're going to, I'm assuming it's going to be for a lethal Grape Shot. Maybe we can tax their resources enough that's not a fair assessment, but like if I resolve a Nile Spellbomb and limit their graveyard interaction, they might have to go for a small storm count, which means they might go for Empty the Warrens, which means I might, you know, benefit from having spent more time playing Jund against Storm. Well, that's what we're doing tonight for, Mr. Maple Syrup. That's what we're doing tonight for. We're exploring these 2 versions of the popular Jund archetype and seeing which one sort of scales up better. So I've got Push Spellbomb next turn. So out of the cards in my hand that I would like to resolve now, Goyf is unboltable. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I think Jund is a great archetype to play in Modern. I think fair decks in general are a great archetype to play in Modern. I love playing fair decks. I think Jund is one of the best, most... You've got to be... by having, like... I don't know, it just feels like you're kind of in every game by playing Jund, because discard on one is so universally applicable, etc., 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 so... And then you've got great tools for aggressive decks, so... We're here for a Jund time, not a long time. Yeah, exactly. But it's the fair hallmark, right? And but my point is that Damping Sphere maybe is better in a lot of things, but oh, you like fairies? I do love some fairies. I do love some fairies. Puts Empty the Warrens and Gifts Ungiven into their hand. Rats. Who was the one who said something about Empty the Warrens being hosed by engineered explosives? Maybe I should have listened to that brilliant human being. I think it's possible. Well, I'll put the Kroxa in my graveyard. Thank you. I could draw the Inquisition if I want to, and then go after their hand, but I can't get the Empty the Warrens. So if they're able to just storm off, we will be in huge trouble. I kind of feel like just dumping this all in the graveyard. But I guess holding on to the Inquisition is probably smart. Can't believe they had freaking Grape Shot on too. Well, Tarmogoyf gives me a quicker clock than I had. Plus we got the Nile Spell Bomb, so maybe we'll be okay here. Yeah, Fairies looked like it got some playable cards in the last little while, but then it turns out everyone got much, much, much more playable cards. But maybe Modern Horizons 2 will have some Fairy support. Only time will tell. But what if I packed my Fatal Push opponent? Was this storm count 4 right now? I could deal with 8 goblins, maybe. Fuck. Maybe not. I really was not expecting them to just jam there. That's a lot of boys. All right, what else are we dealing with here? I think it's important to find out. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, I think we might be dead on this one. Probably should have done that the other way around. Yeah. I definitely should have done that the other way around. I don't know what I'm thinking. I was thinking that they were more likely to chump block, and I was thinking that I want to keep the Grim Flayer on future turns, whereas, like, if I have a single removal spell and they block it with exactly 4 creatures, I get to kill the creature and trample over, and... yeah. Are we playing 2016 decks like we took a time machine? I don't think this looks like 2016 Jund, but you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think our companion proves that we're clearly not playing 2016 Jund. I think our Wrenn and Six clearly proves that we're not playing 2016 Jund. Half the good cards. I'm playing Grim Flayer. What good cards am I missing? Take out half the good cards for Lurrus. You trolls. Yeah, it's Zoomer Jund or Jajund. Ah, they found the line. Look at them go, huh? All right, fair enough. Oh, yeah. No, we're playing Boomer Jund next. And I'm not kidding. Do I know what's on top? I do not. Let's see if we hit a land. We did. I love that. What's Doomer Jund? That's Jund Shadow, obviously. And that's not how you spell Doomer. There we go. I got you covered. I got you covered. Don't worry about it. Aria of a Flame on top. Yikes! I'm assuming they're going to Gifts Ungiven this turn, which will shuffle their library. So they won't actually end up drawing that. What are you doing? Okay. Well, here's hoping they didn't draw a Remand there, because they can't Gifts for one. Okay, I need to leave an artifact. I need to leave an instant and a sorcery and a creature. Okay, so we can go land, take that creature, and take that artifact. Good. 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 Yeah, baby. Kroxa's doing it biggie. Biggie times. Yes, I remember how a handsome viewer mentioned Aria. See, look, they're shuffling. They're not going to have one unless they fetch one. Thank you. It's an artist's rendition of what Kroxa would sound like. I need to rewatch Akira, apparently. Well, that's terrifying. They only have 5 mana. But they have... Wait, I've got another spell bomb. This is fine. What are you doing, opponent? You drunk? As featured on Spike TV. Did Spike TV used to rerun Akira? Is that a thing? I'm hung up on the Akira thing for some reason in this moment. Kroxa activate. Oh, that shit? Yeah, that makes sense. But when he sings, is he as whiny as the singer from Disturbed? All right. Are you gonna play another Gifts Ungiven? And then get goblins, but then... Huh. All right, this is fine. This is fine. Fine. That one's less fine, but all right. So Past in Flames cost 4, and then they can still Gifts Ungiven afterwards. They can Gifts Ungiven in response, and no matter what I put in the graveyard, it'll gain flashback this turn, but they won't have any mana left. I don't know. Their hand would need to be insane to blow me out on this one, so whatever. Like, I know they've got Gifts Ungiven in their hand at this point, but once they... You have got to be shitting me! They had another... Oh my god. Unreal. What the fuck, man? That's unreal. I don't know where they're going with this, but I am terrified. So they have 3 mana and Goblin Electromancer right now. So let's see where they can go with this. And in theory, they could flashback a Gifts Ungiven. So... Fucking fuck, man. The one extra ritual makes this totally... I can't even begin to solve this. I just put these both in the graveyard and pray. Yeah. Well, clearly should have brought in those engineered explosives. They had a... Oh my god. Oh no, these are the cards I just gave them. God, this is so fucking stupid. Alright, fine, whatever. Well, I don't want to just give up. Like, I came this far. But I mean, there's going to be a trillion goblins in play. Am I just dead? Yeah. I just don't want to... I don't want to be done now. Because, like, I played a good game here, and it just doesn't feel fair. Like, that sequence was just really, really frustrating. But, I mean, our hand as we went along was not great. We were very clunky with the K commands. Maybe I should have had the Collective Brutalities in here. Just worried about the Arias and stuff, but then I should have brought... Well, I don't know. There's all sorts of ways that could have been better. And that's what I'm saying is, like, that's the kind of matchup where you need to know your deck inside and out in the specific matchup and know what your opponent is likely to board against you, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. That one's just too damn tough for me to have on the first go. It's because Jund is bad. Jund is not bad. Jund is not bad at all. It's been bad for a while. It's not bad at all. More than 2 different Jund lists were in the 5-0 dump today. And it has been consistently doing okay in challenges. I don't know, Roy. I have no idea. I think there is a subset of people who dislike losing to fair decks or playing fair decks in Modern when they think it's the race card format. And on the flip side, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's like Infect. Like, there's just some people who just loathe it. But, like, I don't understand why people just, like, say it's bad. Like, it's like calling Mill bad. It's like, it's clearly, like, was bad. It's bad at times. It's bad in some matchups. What did you 5-0 on Skullclamp? This is a matchup that is less than great. But, how do we keep flooding? I do not understand this. Five out on Jund, got it. All right, no turn 3 Tron. So that's something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Legacy looks awesome, Solceros. And it's also still got Uro in it. Very tempted to become a full-time Legacy person, but I just think my Modern content is way too popular. And I don't want to just, like, suck up viewer loss for, like, weeks on end. But it's probably worth doing. Well... Inquisition plus Kroxa is almost definitely the right things to play this turn. I'm about to get blanked. Nope. So we're gonna get Karned. But they'll discard the Ulamog at least. Then they'll exile my Tarmogoyf. If I can escape Kroxa, we might be able to force them to go after that. Also, I could just top deck a Bolt to deal with the Karn. We're playing exactly 1. Jund's value fascination went away when Goyf and Lily tanked. What? One card short of getting back my Kroxa. I can put them empty-handed, though. Saying the deck is bad just means not tier 1 to most players. See, when I hear someone say a deck is bad, I think it means not tier 3. But you're probably correct. I think more people use it the other way around than I do. I love winning with tier 2 decks. That's where I live, baby. That's where I live. The summer cottage there. All right. I have no out for this. What am I doing? Like, even if I play the Kroxa now, it's not going to matter, right? Like, they can just eat it, and then they just start going up with their Planeswalker that gains 4 loyalty a turn. Nothing matters anymore. Well, it's different when the person who's playing the deck calls the deck bad, though, right? I would say. When you're playing a bad deck and you call your deck bad, I just assume you're being some level of facetious. Whereas, like, when you call an archetype bad, I'm assuming, like, it depends on the person, but in most cases, I'm saying they're saying it's not at least tier 1.5. Whereas in my case, I mean, like, the occasional 5-0, in my opinion, is good enough to be acceptable. It means the deck's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Wait, this is probably a really easy sideboard, right? Holy crap. Wow, is this too much stuff to board out? I guess technically Bloodchief's Thirst could kill a big Planeswalker. I'm definitely not interested in Brutalities or Spell Bombs or EE. All right, let's go. Bribery! Legacy is the king of like games that are like, or matches that take like 3 minutes and matches that take like 55 minutes. Wow, can't keep that one. Yeah, keep that one. Yes, I will. We haven't talked about it, but my opponent's screen name is phenomenal. My opponent's screen name is Play to Win. Alright, I think I'm going to take the Karn the Great Creator here. It's just too scary, too easy for them to deploy at a reasonable cost. I know taking their Ancient Stirrings would be like a lot more, I don't know, impact. Did they top deck the fucking... They did, of course they did. Alright, all right. Puts a forest in their hand. All right. I'm officially very happy at my choice of taking away their Karn. Boop. I'll kill that one. Okay. Alrighty then. Oh man, I watched The Cable Guy for the first time in probably the first time ever end to end on the weekend. That movie is an experience. I don't know if I'd call it a good movie, but it was a time. Certainly wasn't a bad movie, or was it? Maybe it was. Top, we've got Grim Flayer. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Sultai Tin Fins with 3 Force of Negation, main, days, and Force of Will. Depends on the definition of bad. Yeah. For me, it usually just means like poor quality things you expect a movie to be good at, i.e. acting, writing, production, and you don't necessarily have to be bad at all those things to be a bad movie. You just have to be bad enough at most things. Yeah, like Jund. Jund's bad enough at most things that you could call it a bad deck, even though I don't actually agree with that. Whereas on the flip side, Mill is actually not bad at most things. Mill's got good removal. It's got counter magic sort of interaction, and it's got a reasonably fast kill. So for all the people who are anti-Mill humans out there, you know. No Thrag Tusk, please. We still have the Worm Coil. Okay, that one's fine as long as I draw a K-Com. There's the mine. Ha! And they called it a mine. A mine! What if I'm an anti-mill cat? I don't know. What if you are an anti-mill cat? I don't quite know what to do with that. Okay, so I don't yet have an instant in my graveyard, but I can change that, and I want to do that now anyway. Sorry, what did I just see on the top of the deck? Ugin. Ugin's not a problem. I do need to dodge... Holy crap, I don't have double red. Well, this is a big problem. Have I played a land yet? I have not. That is not a red land. Well, I guess I'm dealing with a Worm Coil next turn. Or the Ugin. Yeah, I thought about it earlier when I failed to fetch double red that it might end up being problematic. But, wasn't expecting it to kick me in the ass quite this quickly. I suppose taking them off of Tron makes it more difficult for that, I guess. Yeah, you're right, Solceras. You're right. I mean, I can still use the flare to... Those are all not useful. Alright, we just gotta get lucky here with the Cleansing Wildfire. I just gotta top deck a fetch land that draws me... that gets me red. Or just a straight red source. Like that. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I did have to wait until after combat to cast my K-Com, so I missed some damage there, but hopefully we'll be okay. I'm going to have to Bloodchief's Thirst a Wormcoil Engine here. But then I can Bloodchief's Thirst the token that has Death Touch and then attack with Grim Flayer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can also play Tarmogoyf. Awesome. I know they have Ugin in their hand. The real concern is if they just complete Tron for like a umpteenth time, which is possible. There's a second fucking Wormcoil. Well, I guess I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the best. They didn't block? Oh, that's upsetting. Yeah. Well, not yet. I mean, we'll see. And like, if I draw a K-Com, we get to kill the 6/6 Wormcoil before damage, which is, you know, not the worst. This is not an unwinnable game yet. It's not great, but unwinnable it is not. Do I want another Goyf? I guess so. So I can wipe out their hand if I play Kroxa this turn, so let's make sure we get our ducks in a row for that first. Oh my god, I just put Verdant Catacombs into play, and it's possible I don't have another red source in my deck. Because I should have thought of the fact that I really need to do this Kroxa first, so let's find out if I have a red source before I jump in the wood chipper. Literally no land. Got it. Now's a good time to talk about the politics announcement. There's no politics announcement. I have no announcement to make about politics. All right. Well, I can Kroxa their hand away. No politics. Hey, you're allowed on some channels. I can direct you to the wonderful Jeffrey Hoagland. Enjoys a good political chat on his channel. Of course, you have to subscribe to him to have that announcement, so... All right, let's put them on no cards in hand. Our board is good enough. We're not dead here, so good luck, Godspeed, little doodle. That is a great way to describe that, Shauna. Sanctum. Okay. It's an acceptable draw. It's So if I attack with everything, depending on how they block, I can trophy the big Wormcoil engine and then potentially kill them with a out of the graveyard Kroxa. But I need to worry about them using their worm token to eat my Lurrus, so I can't actually attack with that one. So I would just attack with the Goyf and the Flayer and see where things go. Yeah. This is the way. This is one of the ways I expected the block to go. We just blow up the Wormcoil. We're close. Getting close. And they failed to find, which is good. All right, let's go in the graveyard. That's before I even watched Jeff. That's forever ago. Not that that matters on some things, but... So Bolt on top seems terrific. Yeah, I just go Goyf and Confidant in the graveyard, say okay. Then play Confidant out of hand and a Goyf. Because keeping Kroxa in my graveyard is like a secondary bolt. Yeah, I think this is right. This is the way. Okay. Blast Sound's not going to do it, opponent. Close, but no cigar. I think. Although, it does feel like my whole board is 2 drops. So, maybe I shouldn't be so... Are they conceding? Is that what this seizing up is? Nope. What is this? What is happening? You guys seeing this? Alright. Okay. I don't know what that was, but it's okay. So I just go double Kroxa Bolt, right? Can I? No, I needed another red. So if I attack with everything, what happens? They go block Goyf, block Grim Flayer. They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They gain 6. So net life total change is nothing. If I bolt one of their lifelingers and attack with everything, they go block, gain 3. I hit them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they gain 3, and then I Kroxa them to death. Okay. Combat math is fun! Can you guys find the winning line? Is it attack with all? No! Is it attack with some? No! Is it bolt the lifelinker, attack with everything, do the combat math, and then realize afterwards you can play Kroxa out of your graveyard, either using the escape ability that comes inherent to the card or using your Lurrus of the Dream Den? Yay! I'm really impressed with myself on that rattle, by the way. That was pretty tight. I don't know, pitch it all. Who cares? You're dead, opponent. You're dead. You don't think you're dead, but you're fucking dead. Let me show you the face of your doom. Cast with escape or cast with escape? Tough choice. Do you know what killed the Jund deck? The Snowlands. That has no relevance on this game. I just think it's a funny line to say. But did internet kill the video star, Last God? And for the record, there is an actual, like, I don't know, cover, a parody of Video Killed the Radio Star that's called Internet Killed the Video Star. It corrupted it. Arnold's performance in that Batman movie is criminally underrated. That movie is god awful, and I think that was a terrible way for them to take Mr. Freeze, but I mean, I like it. I like that movie, but it's a god awful movie. It's like everything that I hate a Batman movie to be in the worst possible way. Because, like, I love the pure campiness of, like, 60s Batman, and I love the, like, Tim Burton weirdness of early 90s Batman, and I love it's way better than Jim Carrey in Green Tights. I don't think so, because the nice thing for me, the nice thing about the Riddler and Two-Face was it rude of us to call Jund bad? A little bit. Yeah, you can get out with that take, Shauna. Although The Dark Knight Rises is god awful. Oh, I mean, it just depends on how seriously the people are taking it at the moment. I don't mind you calling any deck bad if you're doing it in jest. I loved Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. I think those are insanely good movies. The Dark Knight Rises is an insanely bad movie. It's awful. It's so bad. Anne Hathaway played an incredible Catwoman for about 40 minutes of that movie, and then for some reason she disappeared. I don't. Yeah. I mean, Arnold's performance is it's clearly the kind of thing they wanted, right? And I don't begrudge him that. Like, clearly he did a good job at being the kind of Mr. Freeze that would be in that movie. I just hate that movie for being the kind of movie that would do that to Mr. Freeze when in the comic in Batman the Animated Series in the 90s, they did such a good job of making him, and honestly that whole show, for being like a children's show, was super like serious. You loved the Bane voice? Ooh. My problem was, even like, I went to see that movie in theaters and you literally couldn't understand him some of the time, which I found just frustrating. Like, why can't I understand the villain? And also, why is he not Spanish? He's literally from, like, Nicaragua or something. I forget where Bane is supposed to be from, but, like, it's just one of those things of, like, why do they insist on, I don't know, doing a really crap job of, like, taking these great comic book characters? Like, obviously not as bad as Batman and Robin, where they turned him into the hulking, almost like zombie minion. So it looks like we lost to Tron. I kept a mediocre hand with prayer, and I'm toast. Yeah, mobile has a huge delay, Skull Clamp. You should know. Like, when I'm on streamers on mobile, I tend to chat a lot less, because you end up being really far behind, like 10 to 15 seconds behind. And when you send a message, it's like 20 seconds behind. It's bad. Cool. Oh. What? They ate my Bob? All right. I'm assuming this means they have a backup Karn, but just in case they don't. Okay. Are you getting liquid metal coating? Oh my god. Punt. 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 No, but it's more this. So we can go, they discard plus shock. I mean, obviously they didn't know, so it's not really a punt, but like... It took them so long to make a half-decent live-action adaptation of a comic book. Disney funded a whole new generation of their empire off of it. Well, what are you talking about? Because I would say 1989's Batman was a big deal for comic book movies. I would say Spider-Man was a huge deal for comic book movies in the late 90s. It was a slow burn to get that industry going again. Or that genre, or whatever you want to refer to it as, but like the first two Spider-Man movies were good. The third, again, is just like Dark Knight, or the Dark Knight trilogy, the Christopher Nolan one, or Batman Begins, or whatever you want to refer to it as. Fuck. Shoulda shattered. Got it. The first two ones were great. You're talking Iron Man and the MCU. Right, but Spider-Man and the original X-Men movie really kicked off the new generation of superhero movies, like, period. Without those two movies, you wouldn't have gotten to Iron Man, period. So, like... Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have shattered, though. I seem to be coming out ahead. We'll see. Oh, what is the name of that song? That's from the Nutcracker, right? Roy? Help me out. You know classical music. Fuck. Kinda Wild we're still in. Well, we'll see. Not looking good anymore. It was looking kind of okay for a minute. The one they use for Deep Space Homer. Do 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 deep 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 do 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 do. Anyone? Bueller? All right, so we'll do this, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. Is it from Nutcracker? Am I crazy? Why can't Kroxa redirect to Karn? Because it's life loss. That's my ruling, and I'm sticking to it. If it was Chandra, we'd be okay. The Blue Danube? I don't think that's that one, but maybe. Kroxa is not damage. Kroxa is life loss. Not the Nutcracker. Okay. Okay. I don't have a Bob to get back anymore. I guess I could go Lurrus into just play the Kroxa to hit the last card out of their hand. And then Lurrus will get exiled, and then I play the Kroxa, and then Kroxa will get exiled, and they'll have Karn at 1. But I guess. They had a land. Interesting. Although maybe we can find a trophy or something here. Yeah, that's almost got symbol hidden in that URL, huh? What did they eat? They ate my second red source? That's so bold. Opponent, you're crazy. I mean, I respect it, but holy crap, that's nutso. Trophy off the top. Got it. Maybe there is justice in this world. Maybe. Why are Tron players like this? Because their deck gives them too many free wins. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Did you see me on that test? I aced it. I can't wait to see my time. I don't know why I love that quote so much, but I really do. Yeah, I really believe that, Last God. But on the flip side, like, I truly believe they got Blast Zone? Wild. So conservative opponent. My God. What kind of Tron player am I looking at here? My God. All right. So I can trophy their Blast Zone, but they can't even crank it high enough to kill my Lurrus. So why don't I just Kroxa them? Yeah, okay, crank it once. Beautiful. Are they ready for the draw step K command? Yeah, I guess I have to do that. But that means I can't put lethal into play. Do we think we can fade a single draw? Yeah, but I don't need to trophy it now. I just need to fade one draw. If I Kroxa them, we don't have it. No. Play Kroxa with Lurrus as a lightning bolt. Not trying to escape it properly. I'm just going to use it as a bolt this turn and a bolt next turn. And that means they have one draw step. And I have a trophy, which is not necessarily good enough for everything that they draw, but I think this is the better line. It's Tron? Yeah, but they don't have Tron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So O-Stone doesn't do it. Making them discard and draw step, though, means they get another turn. If you trophy the Tron land, they don't have Tron. They have 7 mana, but they don't have Tron. They have a Blast Zone that doesn't kill my Lurrus. Can't affect my Kroxa. They have one draw step right now, or they're dead. They need to... Yeah, thank you. I can't believe we won that. That was incredible. That was incredibly unlikely. Yeah, I mean, so they could have drawn a Karn Liberated. They could have drawn Karn the Great Creator, but I had Trophy. So that wouldn't do it. Yeah, they couldn't even blow up my red source, because if they animated it with liquid metal coating, it'd just blow up their Karn in response. Is that the new super genius? I mean, Excellent or that one are both good. I mean, FA Advisor. All right. Opponent rolls a 6. They are on a Lurrus. Yeah, I'll keep this. It's a little sketchy, but we have 2 shots here. Is that who FA Advisor is? Russ? Okay, this is kind of great for us. They mull to 5 and they lead on Crab. So I can take as much damage as I want and just blow away all their creatures. Mill versus Jund. He streams under Stickball Russ? Really? Am I thinking of the right person? Apparently I'm not thinking of the right person. I haven't followed. I have Stickball Russ followed. Yeah, he plays a lot of Prison. I know that much. Okay, I lost a lot of my lands there. Hopefully it doesn't become problematic. On top of their library is a Delta. Excellent. Okay, so now I know they have a Delta in their hand still. What are they do? Oh, they're getting their Lurrus, of course. Of course, of course. Which means they can get their crab next turn if they want to. Excellent. Okay, so finally time to do the Bauble trick properly. So, previously I mentioned this and I screwed it up in the deck I was playing it in. So, you want to put your stop on your opponent's turn. Doesn't have to be their upkeep. I'm going to put it on their upkeep. My opponent's going to play Lurrus into Ruin Crab here. There's nothing I can do about it, so I'm choosing to deploy my Bob. So, what you do is you pass the turn, and then you bobble your opponent. Now, on our upkeep, we're going to have two triggers. We're going to have the Bob... I'm supposed to bobble myself. God damn it. You're supposed to do I think this is exactly the same way I screwed it up last time. You're supposed to bobble yourself, then you know what's on top. Then you can choose to stack your two triggers either so that you... Well, ideally, so you're going to take less damage. Which... it's not an oof. Like, it doesn't matter much in this matchup, but if it had mattered, that's the way you do that. So, case in point, so I would have known Blooming Marsh was on top. You should laugh. I would have known that Blooming Marsh was on top, and I could have put the Bob trigger on top of the Bauble draw and taken 0 damage. If I was smart. Which, as we all have seen, I am not. But as the great Homer Simpson once said, it takes two of us to make the mistake. One of us to make the mistake and the other one to watch it. That wouldn't have been a mistake if no one in the world saw it. I stand by that. I have 17 cards in my yard. I'm assuming I'm going to find another discard spell before... honestly? Which of these is more dangerous? This is the Visions, right? Although I guess... I have the removal spell for... I have the removal spell for the Lurrus. I have infinite removal spells for the crab afterwards. So I'm going to get milled for 6 if I allow them to play Lurrus into crab. But they don't... All right. Cost, risk, assessment. This is why I'm not an economist. Yeah, this is why you're not an economist. Yeah. The one thing I would say is, like, I don't know if I should deploy the Tarmogoyf this turn or just take the risk that they draw lightly and the mill 6 doesn't matter too much. We'll see. Because they get to mill me for 6 here. So that could be either very good for them or not particularly useful at all. Depends on what the last card they have here is. So this might just be to get the quick value out of their crab. If they drew another Visions of Beyond, yeah, I fucked up. Nope. Push? I can see push. Inquisition? Hey, Speed. I like Jund. I don't play a lot of Jund, but I like Jund. One of the things that keeps me away from Jund is the things that keep me away from, like, r/Rick and Morty. Is a lot of the Jund fans are a bit much for me. But I think it's a very respectable deck. Well, that's a tilt. Okay. Do I have any mana producing lands left? I've got a Blackcleave. I've got a Peatland. And that's it. Okay. That's fine. I didn't need it. No. It's not an oof. That's fine. I didn't need the land. It would have been nice, but I did not need it. So let's get rid of the Lurrus. Get rid of Mr. Krabs. Yeah. No, I should have used my Bloodchief's Thirst for one of those. For the crab. It's fine. It's going to be fine. It's all good in the hood. Right. Well, we beat Tron, Speeve. If you want to see something truly incredible, you should watch the replay of us beating Tron just now. I love Sultai. It's just that without Uro in Modern, I just off of it, unfortunately. And I know that's like, I don't know. I'm just being biased towards good cards, I guess. But I freaking loved Uro. I just don't envy trying to play something like Sultai. Like, I played the Sultai deck recently, right? And it's just so freaking hard to, like, get behind that color combination without Uro to help you out against all the burn decks. Like, I don't know. It's just tough. This one is getting posted on YouTube, Speed, yes. It'll be a couple days out, but you will be able to watch it on the YouTube or on the Twitch replay thing, which I always have open. Yeah, I am gonna play more Legacy Sorceros. I'm getting a lot of views right now, so I think when the season goes into the cooler in a couple more weeks, then I'll play some Legacy. Because we're still quite early on in the Kaldheim season, and it's sort of been artificially elongated due to the whole Tybalt nonsense, just totally shafting the first couple weeks from being relevant. So when we're like 6 weeks to 4 weeks away from Strixhaven, that'll probably be when I play more Legacy. I have been wastelanded. Luckily, my Wrenn and Six. Sorceros does have sweet deck lists. Ooh, Bob doing me dirty. Whoo! Getting dangerous. Opponent says, oh man, greatness at any cost. You know it, motherfucker. Oh boy. All right. Play a tap land. I can kill them next turn with almost anything that they buy. So, or with the play. So, yeah, that's fine. Is it? Yeah, it's fine. Actually, no, it's going to depend on how much damage my Bobs do to me. Because if I can't shock, then I can't kill them this turn. Alright, we'll see. Come on, Bobs. Oh, God. I can't shock. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. gonna attack them, and we're gonna kill both our Bobs. And then I can't trophy them though. There's no mountain in this deck list, period. Even if there was, it would likely be in my graveyard by now. Okay. So if I Wrenn and Six my Bob, it guarantees I can kill them next turn without risking death. However, I have 10 cards in my library, so it opens me up to losing if they rip some sick mill spell, but I think it's fine. I think this is the way to go, and I'm not looking back. So we have the kill guaranteed when we untap. We can just ping them with Wrenn and Six and bolt them, so it's all down to their draw here. It's got to be a hot one. They have plenty of outs here, but they also have plenty of things that are not outs. Yeah. They're passing the turn. Looks good. I think they drew something that wasn't good enough. Yeah, looks like it. Let's Inquisition first, just in case they drew Drown for my Bolt. Crab. All right, that's not good enough. Upstairs. And from downtown. Oh, and he's up. Jams it in. Jams it in? Jams it in? All right, whatever. Sick game, though. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right, EE's probably okay. Cold Brew is probably much better. I love Cold Brew. So let's see. I don't need this much removal. That's way too goddamn much. Trophy's good if I'm not bringing in the EE. KCOM's also good, but maybe we can just shave like one and... See the Raven's Crime, maybe? Something like that. Any predictions for Modern Horizons 2? No. I really have no idea. I don't. There's lots of cards I would love to be in Modern Horizons 2. Dak Faden, Vindicate, Demir's Sword that's actually goo. What, like it makes like a 2/2 ooze? That'd be pretty cool. Call back to Sword of Body and Mind. It makes a star ooze. Jugak. It's like Hugak, but with improvise. Oh my god. I don't think that's possible, Tartan Scarf Man, and I only base that on the fact that I think that they went to... so Modern Horizons 2 is done, period. Like, they're done with it. They've definitely put it out already. And they only just finished up the Time Spiral Remastered previews, and they've only just started to get feedback. But they also need to see how much they actually sell of Time Spiral Remastered before they make the decision to do more Old Border cards. So I don't think so. But on the live Magic stream last week, when Gavin Verhey was talking and those two other talking heads were talking, they were saying the feedback for Modern Horizons or for Time Spiral Remastered is so good so far that they think it is likely that they'll find another spot to do Old Border reprints. My concern is where. Like, I can't think of another great place to put Old Border reprints unless it's like Invasion Remastered. So I'm concerned at how long it'll take and what it'll look like, and when they get there, what cards they're going to put in. Yes, I agree. Old Border Zendikar fetches are like on my top list. And the reason we didn't get them in Time Spiral Remastered is they confirmed them in Modern Horizons 2. I have no idea when the next time we could get those would be, because they seem very resistant to printing them too often. From a collector standpoint, is it worth getting a magic bundle for $40 with 10 packs and a promo versus getting 12 individual packs for the same price? Most stores like mine have 3 for 10, any $3.99 packs. Team Sinso, I would say buying packs is generally just a bad choice for most collectors. The point of packs is to draft and to play sealed and limited. And if you want to expand your collection in a stable, intelligent way, you should buy the singles that you want for the decks that you're building. Tolarian Community College has lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of videos all about that. So I know cracking packs is fun, and if you have fun money, that's awesome. Just don't get in the habit of it because it's expensive and not sustainable and not a great way to gain value. But some people like gambling. All right, am I keeping this hand in this matchup? I don't think so. It's too slow, not enough cheap removal. This hand is fantastic. Thank you. You want help, advice on a modern legacy deck you're planning on? Well, I would be happy to volunteer that, and I'm sure so would a lot of people in the chat here. So you can just voice your questions, and if it's specifically for me, you can @me, and if it's for the chat at large, there's lots of wonderfully intelligent people here who can help you. Roy K. Blitzbot, I believe is his current screen name, is my best friend who plays Magic, and he would actually be super useful if he's not shitposting. Thank you for the follow, Jonkly MTG. If I butchered that, I apologize. Needs more cowbell. Got it. Okay, so Mesmeric's Orb is in play, and while I could remove it immediately, I think I'm going to play Dark Confidant instead. I'm also not interested in accelerating them just yet, and Bob is going to draw me more cards. Modern mono red 8-rack, now with Pact of the Titan, Battle Hymns for ramp, Ornithopters, and Memnites with Kuldotha Rebirth. That sounds inexpensive and a great way to get into Modern. Sounds reasonably proactive. Maybe they just mean acceleration, the Last God. Wait, what is Battle Hymn? I don't know what Battle Hymn is. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, what are you doing with the mana from Battle Hymn? What is your plan? Pay for Pact of the Titans? Pact of the Titan, I think, is probably worse than what can anyone remember, or can anyone tell me what the card is called? Is a Violent Eruption? What's the one that gives you elementals for how many lands you sacrifice? Because I think that sounds like that deck. Oh, they have Delirium already? Well, fuck me sideways. Alright, this is scary. Devastating Summons. There we go. I feel like that card should probably be in your deck somewhere. Alright, do I have fetchable lands? Blackcleave, Overgrown. I just want to see at least one Blood Crypt in this. Or at least one Blood Crypt that isn't in here. Aggro Facts. Yeah, that is definitely a good deck for early FNMs, for sure. Okay. So, how worried am I about this Mesmeric Orb sticking around? I think it's worth deploying a threat here in Grim Flayer, and then next turn is the turn where I'm going to start seriously considering destroying the Mesmeric Orb. We may have already lost our opportunity to set up mana to... Oh my god, I tapped the wrong land. I guess I'm playing Bob. Sorry, too much stuff going on. Maybe Bob will be good to me in this game and just hit me a K-Com. Though there's already 2 in the graveyard. I think it's a funny statement because obviously last game Bob hitting K-Coms almost killed us. They milled us Surgical. Right, they're playing Surgical. But I haven't hit a Kroxa. Yikes! 16 cards in library remain. That's a spicy meatball. That Field of Ruin is definitely a wasteland, right? I can get a Kroxa back. Although I think this turn I'm playing Grim Flayer plus Assassin's Trophy. They have 1 card in hand? Well, if I don't play Kroxa this turn, I probably won't get the chance to. Mesmeric Orb is going to mill me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll go down to 3. They can field me off the Kroxa. That actually helps me out. It reduces my number of cards that are going to untap. So if I put Kroxa into play this turn, potentially they'll take 3. Then I'll attack them for 4. Go to 4, 3. They go to 11. Then next turn, yeah, they definitely die. So I think we just go down to, let's get them empty-handed and put myself in a position where once again they have to top deck a kill. Seems good. Seems good. If I'd played Grim Flayer last turn, it could have been in a better position, but I'm not going to worry about it. I know the deck is trash, but for Legacy, I want to make Boros combo with Treasonous Ogre, Children of Corliss, and Enduring Renewal / Sigil of the Empty Dawn. I mean, you play if you're gonna have fun playing it, that's what matters the most, and especially if you're playing it at places where you're, not paying that much for entry. As modern leagues are like $10 USD for 5 matches. Although you could play in the practice lobby, because I've been doing that a little bit more recently with my more speculative brews. The Ancient Silver Gack that Brian Madden's been working on, my co-host on Serum Vision. So tournament practice room is definitely more useful the more sketchy your deck is. They had Delta in hand. They were considering bouncing the Oboro so that they could discard the Oboro so that they could draw a crab and kill me, I assume. Oh, totally, Team Sinso. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to make the choice to play one of those things, I would say play paper, because it's like a generally more rewarding experience for most people. And then, of course, in the near future, I assume we'll all be playing paper again. In the near enough future, not to get too hopeful about it. Okay, nine cards in library. What do you got? They concede. Boom, baby. Got him. All right, and we moving along. 3-1 with a little bit of Zoomer Jund, baby. We zooming now. Wayward Guide Beast. I've heard that's the Red Days. What did we lose to? We lost in brutal fashion to... What did I lose to? Storm, yeah. Very, very, very good Storm pilot. They never put themselves at risk. They basically had both games like locked down. I had a very slow hand in game 1 that didn't reward playing against Storm, and they just played super patiently. They did the classic combo player thing of they just kept amassing resources until I looked like I had anything threatening, and they were just like, I don't know, I can overkill you. And then game 2 was a little bit closer, but they had a sick sequence. All right. Hand's good. Hand is very good. This is probably one of the best hands we've drawn tonight. Leads on Foothills. All right. Got... They're not on Lurrus. Something tells me this is going to be Titan Shift. Nope. Just dredge with the classic perfect draw, double cathartic against your discard spell. All right, well, today we packed our Nile spell bombs, so dredge with no mulligan, double cathartic on the play. Yeah, I mean, maybe their luck will run out and they'll fail to mill another dredger with the one dredge creature they had in their hand. They did. They did. Okay. And we see Sacred Foundry in play here. Likely means there will be some number of Smiting Helix in their deck. Could be for sideboard cards like Wear Tear, but we will see soon enough. They didn't discard their prized amalgam. Interesting. They have double Bloodghast, though. So we'll play Goyf this turn, Wrenn and Six next turn. Unfortunately, I'm going to be taking a bunch of damage. But, c'est la vie. Roy is usually around. You can summon him up with me saying his name. Roybert, if you're here, we've got some commentary on Infect. There he is. Ooh. Right then. Right then. Triple Bloodghast. Well, we're fucked now. Well, I think I might be in a little bit of trouble. Just poquito. Yikes. All right. Well, I don't think we're winning this game. Their build is kind of funky, though, so I'm not going to count myself out of this until they actually, like, kill me. Because it does seem to be a little janky. And, like, I don't see any conflags or nothing yet, so... Although these Creeping Chills are really doing work. As they do. No life from the Loams yet. Unless they just picked one up. They probably just did. Because they just milled 3? Yeah. Yeah, I think Last God has it right. If you want to play casual decks or decks that are not tuned to be the height of power level, that's fine. There's just no expectation for other people to do that, and learning what the best decks in a format are and trying to beat them is really important. All right. I guess I could push... They already made their land drop? Let's push one of these. Bloodghast. No, they have not yet made their land drop. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, assuming that I live long enough, killing the Narcomoeba is going to prevent more damage in the long run. Anyway, if you want to play some, like, facsimile of Modern and not play top tier decks and play against non-top tier decks, that's fine. You can probably find a group of people that do that, but if you're gonna, like, show up places and want to play Modern, you kind of got to play by the same rules as everyone else. And the advantage to it is, you know, yeah, there were a lot of undiscovered decks at the beginning of yeah, no worries. Well, Pioneer is going to have another resurgence after Paper comes out. after paper comes back. When they finally release paper from the grips of the pandemic. All right, we're just dead here. Let's go to the sideboard games where we have a chance. Yeah, I think there's going to be a Pioneer Renaissance 100%. I don't agree with some people's opinion that they should add Innistrad. It comes from a good place. I really, like, I respect that people are trying to do something good to that format, sorry. But I saw a post that was getting a bunch of feedback and attention that was saying, yeah, and it's just like, here's the thing. I don't think that they did it lightly when they chose Return to Ravnica forward as the place to start that format. That was not an accident. And they specifically said, like, this is the format. So, like, when they did Mirrodin forward for Modern, you know, over a decade ago, it's not like they were like, oh, whatever, let's just add Onslaught. Like, that's not the way these things work. I mean, so far, in terms of how the precedent has been set. Yeah, exactly. Well, Snapcaster is something that I would love to have, but, like, I just don't... It just sets a stupid precedent, right? Because then it's like, well, let's add Scars of Mirrodin, right? Why not? That's fine, right? You know? Well, let's add Zendikar, whatever. Let's just ban the fetch lands. Yeah. No, I mean, it's true that is where they chose that, but there was also a... It does... What's the right way to say it? I agree that it was just like a point where the borders changed, but it just... Once they said it, like, they said it, and they didn't mess with that. Ravnica was a hallmark change in MTG design. That's true. So if they had started it at Ravnica, that would have... Returned to Ravnica. Was Return to Ravnica a big change in design? I don't know. Original Ravnica was a big deal. Because Mirrodin, Kamigawa, and Time Spiral were all... No. Mirrodin, Kamigawa, Ravnica, Time Spiral? Yeah. They started at Ravnica for Modern. That would have been, in some ways, cleaner. Right, yeah. Because they goofed it on Zendikar. At least on Rise. Because Brian Tinsman didn't care. Good for him, goddammit. I don't like this New World Order crap. Some of it's good, but some of it's not good. Some of it I don't agree with. Time Spiral is the greatest block that has ever been printed, and I think every 5 years we should get a new... obviously not new Time Spiral, but like a new set that has the same kind of philosophy of Time Spiral of like, let's make a set for Magic players. Not for people we want to play Magic, people who have played Magic. But I guess that's going to be things like Modern Horizons from here on out, which is good enough for me. I would just really like it to be one of the, I don't know, premier sets? I forget what they call them now. Well, the thing about that Team Sinso is that Modern is so huge that you just, if you want to evaluate a meta on a local level, you just do that. You just look at the people around you and say, what are these people playing and how do I beat these decks? For a larger field, like a GP or something like that, it's almost impossible. There are people who are good at it, but even the people who are good at it are hit and miss. Okay. Set remasters should replace Masters set and just keep like a list slot. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would be totally down for that. But only because, in my opinion, they were really shanking the Masters sets anyway, so I just don't. I would be happy if Masters sets did what they said and just never came back, because I really think that they were not doing a particularly exciting job with them. By choice, too. They could make those sets amazing, and they were consistently like, let's keep these mediocre. Let's not put fetch lands in all of them. That would be too good for the people. Yeah, exactly. Modern Masters 17, right before they changed off of doing Modern Masters followed by the year number, that was the last great Modern Masters set. Yeah, Double Masters is okay. Ultimate Masters was okay. But then they kept jacking up the price too, without, in my opinion, having a correspondingly excellent value to collectors and players. It was they were better limited sets, but I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care how good the limited experience is. I just want them to like print a product that just completely hammers down how expensive Modern is specifically. Okay. Game's looking good. I'm a little concerned that they're just holding like a lightning axe, but I've got multiple K-comps to start rebuying Lurrus's, so fucking whatever. Right. Exactly, Last God. That's kind of what it felt like. And it almost felt like they specifically targeted a lot of the time. In each archetype, they would like specifically target like some of the cards to make that archetype cheaper. But what happened with Modern so much of the time is that because they had made some of the cards in the deck cheaper, people would flock to that deck. And then the rest of the cards that had not been recently reprinted would get much more expensive. Like almost overnight. And so you would see these decks be like, oh, it's so much more affordable. Like they printed Tarmogoyf and Lily in this master set. Let's all play Jund. And then the price of Blackcleave Cliffs went up to like $50. Right, but the cards you couldn't draft in Tron kept going up. Although Tron is already a pretty affordable deck, so that's not really. All right, I've got double spell bomb here, so I'm just looking for them to start trying to go off, and then we'll shaft their graveyard. Thoughtseize. You got it. You guys think this is a concession, Thoughtseize? Nope, they took my Bob. You got it. Oh no, how will I ever get it back? If I wanted my Bob back, what could I possibly do? Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, Pioneer not having those fast lands is just a goddamn travesty, right? I mean, that's just a mess. They should have fixed that by now. And listen, I am aware that people have the opinion, and I do think it's an opinion, that don't discard that, don't discard that. Discard the loam, so they have to dredge it, then play it? Yeah, cool. I know that people have the opinion that that it's like, oh, we can't, the names matching the plane thing. Yeah, but one, why don't they put it in a core set where it doesn't matter? And two, who the fuck cares? Sea-Chrome could be anywhere. Blackcleave could be anywhere. Like, who cares? Nobody cares that much. Just put them in a set. There's no dragons on Ixalan. They put Dragon Skull Summit in there. And they waved it away with flavor text. Because they're smart people. They can find a workaround if they want to. Okay, so there's one prized amalgam here. They have the loam in their hand now. I'm going to pick up my Lurrus this turn. Play Lurrus into Spellbomb. So if I just nuke their graveyard now, they can play their Life from the Loam for nothing? Yeah, it's good. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. Sorry, I needed to take a break from the conversation to actually play this game. Yeah, you can't play Loam during your draw step. And especially not with an Narcomoeba trigger on the stack. But I respect your candor, opponent. That's not the meaning or usage of candor correctly. Yep. What's my other mode on this K-Com? It's like shock? I think it's shock. That's funny. Pick up Lurrus, shock you. Well, it makes zero sense lore-wise based on what we currently know about the Phyrexians, but obviously there's been some kind of change with New Phyrexia, etc., right? They have not done Elish Norn. Oh, wait, you're talking about the Judge promo? Yeah, they did do that. Sorry, Roy, there was a fake preview card for Call Time that was Elish Norn, so that's, for some reason I thought you were talking about that. You're talking about the Judge card, yeah. I think it's a Judge promo. Yeah, I assume they'll do all the Praetors with Phyrexian text. But they did the old Elish Norn. In theory, there's going to be a new one. So that's kind of weird. Yeah, Jin Gitaxis in Strict Haven makes sense, though, right? Although people were saying that Kaya killed Vorinclex in Kaldheim, and there's just no fucking way. Sorry. There's no way. Urbrask will be so weird. Will be weird since he's no longer aligned with the other Praetors. Well, he still speaks and writes Phyrexian, we assume. I mean, the last god, that's like saying it's weird that all the Phyrexians write the same Phyrexian. Wouldn't they have their own versions of the language and dialects and grammar by now? No, and I'm saying, like, oh, you just mean story-wise, Urbrask will be weird. I don't know what you mean. Urbrask was already weird, right? And how they fit his story in not anything to do with the Phyrexian version of him. What? Okay, I need more information on that, but for the moment I gotta try to play some Magic. Yeah, New Phyrexia, by the way, as a set, is just horrifying. Holy crap. Yeah, but one assumes the place we'll see Urbrask is on New Phyrexia when we finally get there, right? Like, some of the Praetors have to be printed on New Phyrexia. Oh. Override card user. See if it works this time. Alright, opponent kept their 7. I'm gonna mull this, try to find a spell bomb. No spell bomb, Thoughtseize, and Inquisition, though? They can't have had Kaya kill Vorinclex already. He just freaking came back. He cannot be dead if they just had Vorinclex go to... Like, they're planeswalking now. The Phyrexians are planeswalking. How can you have one of their Praetors die? That's just ridiculous. Did I board out my Assassin's trophies? You bet your bippy I did. Alright, so we're winning without a graveyard, you say. Very well. Good luck and Godspeed, little doodle. Oh, I guess that's what it does instead of posting it in chat. I don't know. Oh, well. Alright. Maybe we end this. Well, for you and me, it posts it in chat, but... I did go look at a lot of new Phyrexia cards when I was working on that Phyrexian intro for that episode of the, Fuck. They didn't. Come on! Fuck you. Alright, that's how you go from 3-0 to 3-2. No, 3-1. We were never 3-0. Alright. Fuck. Fuck. Come on. Why did this have to happen? I took their goddamn cathartic reunion. Yeah, alright, alright. Hopefully they're going to trigger something. Oh, I know what Blazing Archon is. It was played in Legacy at some point. Okay, they just picked up Loam. They have Bloodghast in their graveyard, so if they play a fetch land, they can get it back without me being able to stop them. I think I just have to leave it for now and just... play the Loam. We 3-2'd that league too, though, Mr. Maple Syrup. So I don't agree with your logic. All right. Well, they're getting a fetch land back, which means this is a Bloodghast, which means I should just pop their graveyard now. We're kind of screwed against this Leyline, though. But... yikes. Not exactly what I wanted to see. I know what a good chunk of their hand is. I just don't think Thoughtseizing is wise here. Nice mill. Holy crap. They just milled life from the loam and they milled 3 lands. Sorry, they dredged life from the loam and what they milled was 3 freaking lands. That's a yikes. They leylined me and they drew it on a 7. I wonder if they had the leylines last game and we just didn't see them. Nah, that's unlikely. Because they milled like their whole... Or no, they milled like half their deck last game. That's not going to do it. I don't think. Shit. Alright, we're just dead. That's fine. We lost a dredge. I maybe should have mulled to 5, but the leyline was going to crush us anyway because I didn't board correctly for it. So, it's fine. We had a miraculous win against Tron, tough loss against Storm and Dredge. So, a very modern league. Like, that really was a quite broad, thorough display of modern. We didn't see any burn or prowess or any of that nonsense, but we did see Mill as an aggressive deck. Dredge, Storm, Tron, and there was something else that was... Oh, Elves, who we soundly crushed. So that was great. Someone whisper me? Oh, they did. Oh, sorry. So, here we go with the kick butt. Zoomer Jund. This was very... Yeah, that's what I figured, Last God. Anyway, good deck. Like it a lot. Is it better or worse or different than Jund? I think it's mostly just different. I think it definitely has a different way it lines up against the metagame. I don't know about playing only one Bolt as the only reach, and this one of Raven's Crime seems super speculative. If I had any change, it would be like, get these Bloodchief's Thirst out of here for more Bolts and the Raven's Crime, because that's just my personal preference. Maybe Hexdrinker somewhere could be fine. But all in all, a good deck, reasonably well constructed, nice clean sideboard. We probably shouldn't have won against Tron, but we did. We didn't necessarily need to lose against Dredge or Storm, but we did. So just good modern league all around there. Good stuff. So that's this Lurrus Jund 2021. And we're going to move on to Classic Jund in just a few moments here. I mean, this is a super clean construction from the 5.0 dump, so if you are hanging out with me live, stick around. And if you're in the future on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any other videos you're interested in, and I will see you there. Yeah, but every permanent that's 2 CMC or lower, Shauna,